Hi everyone, welcome back again to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'll be sharing with you how to cut and sew a gathered palazzo pants. So this is me wearing the pant, as you can see. So if this is the first time you're seeing any of my video or the first time you're visiting my channel, you're highly welcome to the family. Please kindly hit on the subscribe button and the notification bell so as to get notified when I upload more amazing videos. Thank you, and let's get started. I'll be making use of this fabric, which is called flower material, and then I'll be making use of my tape rule, I'll be making use of my scissors, and also I'm making use of my chalk. So as you can see, I've gone ahead to fold my fabric into two. This is folded into two equal parts, and then we'll be working on the front part of the pants first. So to get the wideness of the pants, you know it's a gathered pants, so you will divide your hip measurements by 4. I'll fold my tape rule into 4 like this. My hip measurement is 38 divided by 4. So I got 9.5 inches. As you can see, I got 9.5 inches. So that 9.5 inches, I'll multiply it by 2. That gave me 19 inches. And then the 19 inches, I'll add extra 1 inches for sewing allowance. That gave me 20 inches. So that 20 inches is the wideness of the fabric, as you are seeing. And you know the fabric is folded into 2, so which means by the time you unfold the fabric, you'll be having 40 inches. That means 20 inches for one front of the pants and then 20 inches for the other front of the pants. I hope you understand my explanation. So what I'll be doing next is to mark out our hip line, which is 8 inches plus ½ inch sewing allowance. That will give me 8.5 inches. So I'll mark the 8.5 inches there like this. So this is our waistline, and also this is the hip line. The next thing to do is to mark out our crotch line. For the crotch line, I'll be using 10.5 inches. I'll mark the 10.5 inches there like this. So to get your crotch line, you can easily sit on a flat surface, and then from your waist you measure down to the surface. As you can see, it's very easy. So this is the tie line. I am very sorry, I noticed after doing the video my chalk wasn't really showing on the fabric. I'm very sorry about that. So what I'll be doing next is to take the pants length. My pants length is 42 inches, so I reduced 2 inches for band allowance, which makes it 40 inches. I'll be adding that 2 inches at the waist part for the band, and then I added extra 2 inches for the folding of the pants, so that makes it 42 inches. I cut out all together like that. So I'll come over to my crotch line, and then I'll mark 2 inches inward like this. I'll also do the same thing on my hip line. I'll mark 2 inches inward like this too. And then I'll do the same thing on my waistline too. I'll mark 2 inches inward like this too. And then I'll connect the points together. After that, I'll come over to my crotch line, and then I'll make a curve like this. I hope you're seeing what I'm doing. I'll make a curve to meet the hip line like this. After I'm done doing that, I'll come to the side of my waist. I'll reduce that side by 1 inches on the waist parts. I want it to have a little bit of shape, so I'll just reduce it by 1 inches like this. I'll connect it to my hip line. I'll connect it to my hip line like this. This is it after I was done connecting that to my hip line, and that's it for the front parts. The next thing we'll be doing is to cut it out. So this is how we came out after cutting it out. As you can see, we'll be moving to the drafting of the back. So I've gone ahead to fold my fabric into 2 for the back. As you can see, this is it. It's folded into 2 just as the front, and then this is the front parts that I placed on it already. Another thing is that the back is always wider than the front, and also on the waistline you make the fabric longer at the back. So on the hip line of the front, I'll mark out 2 inches up to the waistline like this, and then I'll come over to the crotch line. I'll mark out 2 inches. So after marking the 2 inches there like this, I'll connect it to make a curve to the straight line I made already. So I'll connect it like this to make a curve. So on this upper part of the back, you come up by 1 inches. You mark the 1 inches there like this, as I am doing. And then from that point, you connect it to the side of the front waistline. You connect it there like this. I know you might be wondering why I'm doing this, and that's because the back is always longer than the front. It's not always straight together with the front parts, so that's why I added that 1 inches. And that's it for the back parts. So the next thing we'll be doing is to cut it out. So this is how it is after cutting it out. As you can see, this is the front, and you see that the back is longer than the front. So what we'll be doing next is to cut out the pocket parts, because it will have a pocket at the side. So I'll remove the back from the front, I'll keep it aside, and then I'll work on the front. So on this side of the front, I'll go in by 1 inches like this. I'll mark out 1 inches, and then for the length of the pocket, I'll be using 6 inches. I'll mark out to 6 inches. So from that point, I'll make a curve to the 1 inches like this. I'll make a curve, and then I'll cut that part out. So this is it after cutting it out, and then this is the pocket I'll be using. I've gone ahead to cut it out. So for the length of the pocket, I used 12 inches, and for the width, I used 7 inches. And this is the band. For the wideness of the band, I used 6 inches for the wideness of the band. And then for the length, I used 17 inches. So by the time you open it, it will give you 34 inches. And my waist is 30 inches. So I added extra inches for the sewing allowance. So what we'll be doing next is to pick one part of the front, and then you open up the pocket like this. You open it up like this. So you pick the front, place it on one side of the pockets, just as I am doing, and then you cut out these parts. So this is it. After cutting that out, I'll be picking one pocket, and then the front part, I'll place it on the pockets just as I am doing. I'll place it like this, and then I'll pin it down. So I'll be using ½ inches to sew this part I pinned down, and then I'll be doing the same thing for the other side of the front. So I'll take it to the machine to sew. This is it after I was done sewing. I've also top stitched it, and then I've done the same thing for the other side of the pocket too. So you spread out the pocket just as I am doing, and then you see this part, I've notched these parts. So you pick the pocket like this, turn it backward just as I am doing, and then you arrange the pockets very well. So from that notch part, you begin sewing from that place to the other end. So by the time you're done sewing and you turn it to the other side, the sewing won't really be showing. So we'll be doing the same thing for the other side of the pocket, and then we'll take it to the machine to sew. Can you see how it is after I was done sewing? You can see. So this is the pocket parts. You can see the sewing is not showing outside. Can you see? So you arrange it very well like this. You arrange it just as I am doing. You know I reduced 1 inches from the side, so this is the 1 inches that is replaced back. So I'll pin down this upper part very well. I'll arrange it well and then pin it down. And then I'll just sew on this side. So I'll be doing the same thing for the other side of the pocket too. After doing that, I'll spread out one part of the front. I'll pick the other part of the front. I'll place it on each other like this, and then I'll arrange it well. So I'll be using ½ inches to sew these crouch parts. I'll use ½ inches to sew it all the way down like this. So I'll put the front aside to pick the back. I'll pick one part of the back. I'll spread it out like this too, and then I'll pick the other side of the back, place it on each other like this, and then you make sure you arrange it well on each other as I am doing. So from the waistline, I'll be taking the zip length. We'll be using 7.5 inches for the zip length. So I'll place my tape there like this, and then mark out the 7.5 inches. From the 7.5 inches, I'll mark 1 inches in like this. So from that 7.5 inches, I'll just use my chalk to just cuff it this way, and then from that point I'll just sew all the way to the crotch line. So we'll take it to the machine to sew. This is it after I was done sewing. Can you see how it is? So this is the front part, and then this is the back part too. I've gone ahead to sew that too. Can you see? This is the opening for the zipper parts. So what I'll be doing next is to spread out this back area. We'll spread it out like I am doing, and then I'll pick the front, place it on the back like this. I'll arrange it on the back well. So on that crotch part, we'll just pick our office pin to hold that point together. We'll hold it together like this. So we'll be using 1/2 inches to hold that point all the way to the length of the pants, and then to the side too, we'll be picking the front and the back together like this. We'll be using 1/2 inches to stitch it together. You know, I added extra inches for the sewing allowance. So on the other side too, we'll be using 1/2 inches to stitch it together, and then we'll take it to the machine to sew. So this is it after I was done sewing. This is the side of it, and then this is the crotch parts. This is the zipper part. As you can see, this is the zipper part. So I'll turn it to the other side for you to see. The next thing you would want to do is to sew a straight line on the waist. You sew it round the waist. So this is my band. I've gone ahead to iron the band too. Can you see? I've ironed it, and also I've sewn the straight line on the waist. So while sewing your straight line on the waist, you leave a little bit of rope to be able to draw the gathers. So I'll begin to draw the gathers, and while drawing your gathers, you make sure you do it very gently, because when it cuts at some point, you have to start all over again. So you do it very gently. So for the band, you will open it up like this. So this smaller side, you fold it into two like this first, and then you fold it again, leaving your zipper allowance. You fold it like I am doing like this. Can you see I left the zipper allowance? And then you notch that area, you notch the middle area too. After doing that, you look for the side of the pants. You look for one side of the pants. So this is the side, and then you pick the band, you place one side of the band on it like this, you pin it down, and then you look for the middle too, the middle of the pants. So this is the middle, and then you pin it to the band too. You will also look for the other side and then pin it to the band like this. So after you are done with that, you begin to arrange your gathers on the band like this, from the zipper parts all the way to the other end of the zipper parts. You arrange it well, and then you sew on it. So I'll take it to the machine to sew. Can you see how it is? Can you see how it came out? The gathers is well arranged. And you see, this is the inner part of it. So after you're done with that, you just fold your other part of the band on it like this, on the gathers like this. So from the front, you sew on it all the way around the waist. So you sew on it round like that. And also I'll be fixing my zip there like this, and then I'll be folding the down part. You know, I added 2 inches for the sewing allowance of the down, so I'll fold it like this. I'll sew on it. So I'll be taking it to the machine to sew. So this is it after I was done sewing. Can you see how it came out? So this is the waist part of it. This is the zipper part. Can you see? This is the inside of it. See how it is? It came out really nice. And here we've come to the end of this tutorial. Kindly help me like this video, help me subscribe, turn on your notification bell so as to get notified when I drop more amazing content like this one. Thank you. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.